It's Latasha Jatar, the author of The Shoe Finally Fits. And instead of going live this evening, I have decided to make a YouTube video. So I have been decluttering for Lent, and it seems to me that the more I declutter, the more space I am opening up in my brain and wanting to become more connected physically, spiritually, mentally. Just getting more in touch with myself, becoming more self aware. And so, first of all, if you have been participating, did you fill your bag for today? Because I did. And I actually called Salvation Army as well to come pick up 4 bags of items between me and my children that we will plan to donate. So they're coming to pick those up next Tuesday. And the Salvation Army this week, it may be another organization next week. I don't know yet, but at any rate, this is what we got so far. So I have also been asking who or what inspired you. So when I woke up this morning, I wasn't feeling good. I didn't go to work today. I don't know if it's the fast where it just seemed like I was really full and my head was bothering me. Then my daughter stayed home as well as one of the twins. He wasn't feeling good either. So we were all home. But at any rate, when I woke up, the first thing I saw on the news was about Russell Westbrook and his um, exchange with the Utah Jazz band, as well as the brawl between, who was it, the Raptors and the Cavaliers. So I'm like, you know what? The first thing that popped in my head was don't take the bait. So they are what inspired me today in that message about not taking the bait because it ends up with Russell Westbrook has been fined $25,000. The fan is banned for life from the game, as well as suspensions for the Raptors player and the Cavaliers player who were involved in the brawl. So, because again, I have been doing the decluttering, I have also been, I watched a video of a brother who said that he had been fasting for quite a long time, which also inspired me to fast. And Dick Gregory had been popping up for me a lot. So I've been watching a lot of Dick Gregory videos. And one that I listened to today, this always happens when I talk on video. I don't know why. Maybe it's because of the way I'm trying to talk. So let me just try to talk normal and that might help. Let's see. So what I got from Dick Gregory videos today was that he said that okay, so I don't like taking medication at all. Today I wasn't feeling good, but instead of taking any medicine, I kept drinking water. I drank tea with ginger. I did have my coffee black with a little honey in it, which is something new. So I'm trying to kick this sugar, not trying to kick, I'm kicking the sugar addiction. And that's pretty much it. And I made some navy bean soup for my family, so I drank some of the broth off of that. But I noticed some years ago, my daughter is 13, so about 13 years ago, when I was pregnant with her, or maybe it was right after I was pregnant with her, is when they really started looking into something may be going on with my kidney. And the medication that they wanted to put me on, even though they had done an ultrasound and they'd done all these tests and they didn't find anything wrong with my um, kidneys, they wanted to put me on a beta blocker. So I was like, well, what are the side effects of that? So one of the side effects that stood out for me was if you take the beta blocker, and I'm sorry if you hear my dryer going because I'm a real mom doing laundry, and then the heat is about to kick up even though it was warm today. You know how that goes. So what stood out for me was that a baby could be born without a limb, deformed, if you take this beta blocker and get pregnant. So I was like, well, wait a minute, hold every phone, because I did not plan to get pregnant with my daughter. And I don't know, I could get pregnant again. I don't want to take this. And you're saying that my kidneys are fine. And they're like, yes, we did the ultrasound, all these tests, but this is just a precaution. And I said, okay, ding, ding, ding. No, thank you. Then I got a second opinion. And he said, no. And I went with the second opinion. Like, I agree. Why should I take some medication if I don't actually need it? So then I did end up getting pregnant with twins. If I had taken the beta blocker, who knows what could have happened to my boys. So I started to look around and become aware that there's a kidney dialysis um, center in every neighborhood, and that's not okay. So I don't even want to take. I have recently taken like one or two ibuprofen. I can count how many pills I take in a year outside of vitamins. I don't take pain medication. I don't take cold medication. I try my best to stay away from all medication. Why? Because there's something wrong with there being a kidney dialysis center in every neighborhood. And I think it's associated with the medications, with pain meds. So I'm also of the belief that you can heal your body. You don't need all the medication that they try to put us on and pump into us. So, what did Gregory said to me today was that, and he also said that in the video too. If you're aware, then you're seeing kidney dialysis, right? So he said that the cause of kidney, and he said he got this from a doctor from, I want to say University of Chicago, but don't quote me on that. The video is on YouTube, and if you inbox me at latashajatar@gmail.com, I'll send you the link to the video. But he says that the causes of kidney disease is fear, paranoia, and anger. And he said what cools it out is awareness and gentleness. So all we have to do is become more aware, become more present in the moment, and not allow things like, what did the man tell him? Get on your knees like you used to, something to that effect. And what I said, I mean, I'm not a man, so I get it. I don't have the male ego. But when you're at your whole job, you ignore stuff like that. Like, that is not, don't let that hold you up from doing your job, especially your good paying job. Not to say that you can't do for yourself, Russell Westbrook. Perhaps you have another skill or talent or gift, I'm sure you do, than basketball. But don't let this man stand between you and, you know, what your gift is, what you're currently doing. Where I work, we can call security, or, I'm on the phone. Typically, I can hang up the phone. So I think this is a lesson for other players and just anybody. What's the protocol? What is your next step going to be when somebody offends you, uses foul language with you, or whatever it is, puts you at risk of losing something that is keeping you indoors? What are you going to do? What is your plan of action? So the other thing that he identified was cirrhosis of the liver. He said people are dying of cirrhosis of the liver who never had a drink of alcohol. And the causes of that are anger, rage, and depression. Well, because we're so bogged down with lots of things, we're stressed out. We go into from 0 to 60. I know I can go from 0 to 60 in less than 2 seconds. And depression. Not so much depression, but I'm sure that I do have those blah days. But what he said, and that's not anywhere, I'm not trying to knock anybody's clinical depression. That's nothing close to it. But what Dick Gregory said that you can do is exercise kindness and balance in order for you not to suffer from cirrhosis of the liver. And then lung cancer. He said that lung cancer comes from grief, sadness, and shame. And he said that we suffer a lot of, again, our circumstances will cause us to grieve, be sad, and shame. And he said we're ashamed of our hair, ashamed of um, just being black in America, basically. And the way that you combat that is with courage, righteousness, and love, and be lovable. And I agree with that because even if none of this stuff works, here I go again. Even if none of this works, what's the harm? What's the harm in being more kind, more loving, excuse me, and lovable. Nothing. It's not going to hurt you, right? So another video that I listened to, he was talking about the things, he actually said three, then he said four things that we need in order to be more balanced and productive and avoid Alzheimer's disease, which he claims is um, caused by the lack of drinking water, which I got to drink more water. Otherwise, I'm going to be choking, right? And he said the number one, if he had to put in an order, would be rest. Two would be water. Three, physical fitness. And four would be diet. And he said physical fitness is not running because something about your heel needing to touch the ground. He has a whole scientific explanation of why running is not as good as walking. And he said that some people say that they don't participate in physical fitness like walking because they have a bad leg. He said if you have a bad leg, then walk bad. Just take it slow, and then as you do it, the more you do it, then the easier it becomes for you and the less painful it is when you take it slow. He said, somebody will watch that video and say, oh, yeah, he's right, and then take off and end up hurting themselves and then no longer want to do it, which I would have to agree with. But if you take it slow and build up to um, a certain amount of walking, then you can make that your routine. But something that just came to me, what was I about to say? Oh, he said within the first 20 minutes of waking up to drink water. And he also said to participate in your physical activity in the morning because you need your rest, which is why I shouldn't be on here this late. Because he said any sleep after midnight doesn't count. Had a whole scientific explanation for that too, which I didn't catch. But I'm listening to what he said, and I'm gonna start going to bed earlier and getting my rest before midnight because what even if none of it works, what's the harm? I should go to bed before midnight, right? I should not be up all night doing anything, laundry, um, I was about to say washing clothes, washing dishes, cleaning up. Go to bed, get your rest. A lot of things can be done in the morning as well. If I get up in the morning, get my physical fitness out of the way, then I can go into knocking out some chores and filling up my bag so that I can declutter. So, what else did I want to say? I think that's pretty much it. Oh, so that all ties into the self care and the self awareness and the self love that prompted me to write The Shoe Finally Fits. So, in order for me to do that, I actually have to be an example of that, especially for my children because they're sponges. They pick up everything. And even from me talking about Dick Gregory, now my son is like, I want to hear some Dick Gregory videos. So, I have to find the ones that are appropriate for his age. Oh, but also I saw something that I shared about a year ago, almost a year ago to the day, I believe, when Dick Gregory's daughter did a one-woman show called Daughter of the Struggle, and it was a very good show, and it was highlighting some events of Dick Gregory's life and work. You can't do that right now, honey. I'm making a video. You can't do that right now. I'll do it for you and bring it to you. He's trying to do a heat and pad. So at any rate, it was a great show, and that's the first introduction, not the first, but the real introduction into the work of Dick Gregory and her mother. She highlighted her mother a lot in that show too, and how she was influential in his work, and it was just dope. And so I've been gravitating towards him and the things that he shared over these last few days, including fasting. So tomorrow will probably be my last day. I doubt that I'll go more than 3 days, but as I shared on Facebook Live, which if you aren't a friend of mine on Facebook, I will be sharing those lives also on the Latasha Jatar fan page, as well as I have created a Latasha Jatar Facebook page. I just haven't done much with it, but I will. over the next couple of days to share those live videos that I've done over the past few days. And what I shared was that every month I fast for 3 days at the beginning of the month. It's the national fast with the Nation of Islam. And so fasting is prescribed for us as well as one meal a day. And I can bear witness to the benefit of it. They haven't said anything to me, and I haven't said anything to them about any kidney issues. And I don't even go, which I get blood work done every year. I'm trying to think the last thing they said. I definitely need more iron. That was the last thing that they said. But other than that, my cholesterol is fine. My blood pressure is fine. Both of my parents have high blood pressure. My mother had high blood pressure. She's since passed, but my father has high blood pressure. My grandmother had high blood pressure. I believe my grandfather. It's just, it's hereditary. However, I don't have high blood pressure. Never have. Never even got any close or close to the danger zone. So I feel very fortunate in that I have been able to maintain that status, and I'm almost 45 years old, which I can't wait. No, no, I feel very blessed to have gotten so far without. I don't need medication. Like I'm not on any prescribed medication, and yeah, I'm fortunate to have made it this far without it. So I will get my blood pressure checked this year as well as I can always get it checked on Sundays. Um, the sisters in the mosque who are in the medical field will test your blood pressure if you simply ask. You don't have to make an appointment. They're there, 7351 South Stony Island, every Sunday with their equipment ready to take your blood pressure if you need them to, as well as give you good guidance on the how to eat to live and just other, any concerns. And I'm sure they're not versed on everything, but they can certainly find out and get back to you if you have any questions. So this is turned into a whole other thing. This is where I'm going to end this video, but I will be back on tomorrow, hopefully earlier, with another video about the decluttering project that will end, shouldn't end April 18th, but officially April 18th. However, I can see this being something ongoing because I mean, you always need to have everything organized, which everything is not organized, but I'm trying to get there. I'm trying to get there. Never mind. I'm not going to go into all that. I was about to go into a whole other conversation, which I'm not going to do. I'm not going to do it. I will talk to you all tomorrow. So if you have any questions, comments, concerns, or anything you want to say, which would be a comment, you can email me at latashajatar@gmail.com. You can go to the fan page on Facebook, Latasha Jatar. You can go to Instagram, Latasha Jatar. And where else can you find me? Periscope. Am I going to Periscope tonight? I don't know. But I'm on Periscope, Latasha Jatar, and Twitter. Latasha. Oh, maybe I should spell that. You probably don't know how to spell it. So it's Latasha, which if you're watching this video, it's under the video, but I'm going to spell it anyway because I've started. LatashajaDtar, which my mother created from my grandparents' names, Joan and Della, Theodore and Robert. That's where I get my creativity. Okay, so enough of that. Talk to y'all later. Thanks for watching.